Testing.
Yep.
Check,
Okay,
check,
we're all
check.
So this is episode 4.
Yeah.
And I think our pace
Right.
of once a month is good
Yeah.
because it doesn't put too much demand on us to get some stuff together for it.
Right. And we can get together and try to watch at least one movie in
In between.
And I've been trying to push it off on my friends, so some of them have subscribed to it so far, which is
nice.
good. And I have the cool thing is Google Play and iTunes give me statistics to see how many people download it. And right now,
It'd be nice to have groupies.
previously we had no downloads.
Okay.
But now this month, or the last recording, we have 3 downloads.
Woohoo! Thanks, people.
Yeah.
Yeah, groupies would be nice.
Groupies would be nice.
Although I have a face for radio, so they'd be sadly disappointed if we had like a meet and greet.
So one of the things I want to talk about, so we'll go kind of in the order that we went last time. Let's talk about movie previews and upcoming stuff that we're
Okay.
waiting for. So number one, I just want to talk about House. Remember the movie House?
Yeah, I love that movie.
So this year,
Had the guy from the Great American Hero.
March 1st, it turned 32 years old.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, I've been getting a lot of those things on Facebook, like 80s like TV shows and horror movies.
you know,
like all of a sudden, they started showing up in my.
Facebook like changed their algorithm and they just jam stuff into your feed.
Yeah, but I
But
like
some
a
of
lot
it
of
is
it.
good because it's
Yeah.
like they're obviously paying attention to everything I do.
Which is kind of creepy, but like I like to be catered to.
Yeah, and they're giving me some information, so that's fun.
Yeah, that was a good movie. And then I watched the trailer when I saw that on there, and I was like, because it's been a long time since I saw it.
It has been a long time.
It had a sequel too, and the sequel wasn't very
The
good.
sequel was more of a campy B,
Yeah.
kind of comedy,
Yeah.
weird. But the first one was good.
I had totally forgot George Wendt was in it.
Yeah. And I remember, the reason why I remember is because there was the scene with the little boy
Mm-hmm.
and his mom came and the little rotten blue hand was on his back.
Yeah.
And I remember having the worst anxiety because the kid is there and there's this hand on his back and the guy sees it and he's trying to get the hand off without looking like he's smacking the kid.
That
But
was
yeah.
a good movie.
Yeah, and I was talking to my friends about it and everyone remembers it.
I remember did they use like a lot of animated effects?
No.
No.
Everything was practical effects.
Okay.
And there was no like animated like claymation type stuff. Like
no,
the gate.
like drawn.
Yeah, the
animated.
gate that had
No,
a lot
there
of
was
like
no drawn
claymation
stuff.
kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was none of that. It was all practical effects. So there was like a monster in a closet that came out that had like multiple heads and arms and razor hands, but it was all like practical effects, like the common kind of 70s and 80s practical effects.
Yep.
But you know who else was in it? Richard Dole. You remember who that? Probably not. He was the tall bald guy at Night Court.
Oh yeah. Bull.
Richard
Bull.
Dole.
Mull.
So he played
M-U-L-L. It was a Mull. Richard
Mull, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm bad with
He,
names.
He played the antagonist in the movie. So it was good.
funny.
It was really good.
Yeah.
The other thing I'm going to talk about is previews, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's the rumor going around, and I thought I'd show you like the picture of Devil's Rejects Part 2.
Yeah.
But that picture was fake, and it turns out it's all a rumor. They're not. There's no one has confirmed it. But Bloody Disgusting had an article there saying that they think that it is actually happening and starts filming this month. But they're saying it's a rumor because they don't have any like solid news.
That's
from
like
it.
that bullshit Nightmare on Elm Street one that I showed you. That was
Yeah.
all just fan fiction, but it looked really good.
It looked
like
really
I was like,
good.
hey, this is a pretty good idea.
Yeah, it looked like it would be a great movie.
Yeah.
And then I Googled it, and I read a couple things, and then IMDb had it listed as a $6,000 budget. I'm like, all right, it's not a movie.
Yeah.
It's a
Devil's
little
Rejects.
fan
I'm
thing.
trying to figure. They all died at the end, didn't they? Or at least you thought they all died.
Yeah, you thought they all died.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think we were talking about it before. If they could figure out some way to like get Doomhead involved in,
That would be awesome.
he really should just do a movie of Doomhead, like either like his origin, Doomhead origins
Origin, yeah,
movie,
yeah.
or like that was the best character in that movie. And
Yeah, because that movie overall was not that good.
No.
31 was not that good, but Doomhead was awesome.
Doomhead was badass,
It was that alone made the movie worth.
and I could
watching.
see him being a member of that family somehow. like I could see him and Captain Spaulding like hanging out and eating some fried chicken
Well,
together.
especially like the way he was talking and acting at the end,
Yeah.
when he finally went to kill the girl.
Yeah, he had a whole lot of what was I can't remember the name of like the brother, the really crazy dude in Devil Rejects, the long-haired blonde dude who was like probably the I mean, they were all crazy, but
Man, I can't remember any names.
he
from
he
that.
always spouted some
Yeah.
prophetic type
Yeah. So the other thing I want to talk about is Netflix. I don't know if you saw the article that I sent about that new scary horror movie.
I did.
Veronica.
Veronica, right?
Yeah, it's subtitles though, right?
Right. It was because it's
like a Swedish.
Spain. It's Spain.
Oh, Spanish?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the trailer for it.
Yeah, there wasn't much in the trailer, but
Yeah,
it
I
looked
know.
good.
Like they were saying, like everyone's like just like talking about this, and it's like like
It's like
blowing
a-
people's minds. And,
Yeah,
and I watched the trailer, I'm like,
looks like we.
The
just-
trailer didn't
got
really show
potential,
much.
I guess,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
don't know how they're getting all this.
They're saying it's based on a true story that took place
Yeah.
in Spain,
Like The
and
Exorcist.
I guess if you're into like those supernatural horror movies, it may be something pretty scary.
They're hit or miss for me. Like I found a few I like, but as
Yeah.
a whole, I don't know. I'm not. I guess I don't because I don't really buy into supernatural. It just doesn't have the same effect on me.
Right. Well,
Although-
for me, it's like Exorcist was the beginning of all that. Conjuring, I liked. It was a good kind of
You see, it's weird for me. Like demons,
Yeah.
and the like. I can get into ghosts, not so much. So, I don't know where the.
well, if it's a Ouija board, it's demons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. That's true. That's true. Yeah, I don't like the ghost ones. Like but yeah, demons. Because Exorcist was great, and
Yeah. I like the demon ones, right? Like you said, Exorcist, Conjuring. Another one that's kind of a horror, but not really. Constantine.
yeah, that
So,
was
that
really
was-
good. Like
yeah,
it was
I
like
thought it
an
was great.
action.
Yeah.
yeah,
Insidious,
demon
those
hunter.
are some of my favorite ones.
Yeah, and that's based on a comic
Well,
book, right? That was
Evil Dead too. I mean, those are demons.
Evil Dead with demons.
The
yeah.
Deadites. I assume they're demons. Like
Yep. And one from the 80s that I still think is great, and not a lot of people agree with me, but it's a kind of a slasher flick. The First Power.
Oh yeah.
with Lou Diamond Phillips.
Yes.
That was good.
That was really
I liked
It
good.
was a good slasher movie.
You know,
I
it was.
agree.
You know, it was good, but it was like a slow burn. And I'm having a hard time remembering the name of it. But it was Johnny Depp, and he was a book collector,
Oh,
and it was
Oh
like,
yeah, the ninth gate or
yeah, and it was like he was trying to find that one book, and
Yeah.
it ends up being like Satan's. Like,
yeah.
that was good. It was a
I
slow
think it was
burn.
like called the
and-
Ninth Gate or something.
yeah, I
like
think
that.
you're right.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was really good too.
what was the one with Christopher Walken? Didn't he did
Oh yeah, that was good. The prophecy.
Prophecy. That's
That was good.
Right.
The first one was good.
Yes.
The second
Another
one,
a Wes Craven classic. Shocker.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that in the movie theater.
Yep. And that had great. Had a great like.
Great soundtrack.
Yeah. Is that
Someone's
Megadeth?
garage.
Yeah, it's my daughter.
Megadeth.
Yeah,
Megadeth, there were
Kiss.
a bunch of guys in
Kiss.
there too.
There was
Yep.
or
Kiss.
was it Kiss or was it
No,
just
it was Kiss. There was
Megadeth.
Megadeth, and there was also Alice Cooper.
And they did
and
no,
there were-
no more Mr. Nice Guy. I
Yeah.
think that was
Yep.
like the title.
Yeah, that
track
was.
of the movie.
And the reason why I remember that one so good is because Penelope Sherris, she's the
Was
director.
it Horace Pinker? Was that
Yeah,
the guy's
that was it.
name?
Yeah,
Yep,
that was
that
the
was it.
killer.
Horace
Correct.
Pinker.
Yeah.
Penelope Sherris was a documentary filmer, and she did the punk rock documentary called Decline of Western Civilization. And she also did Decline of Western Civilization Part 2, The Metal Years. And she did interviews with Dave Mustaine around the time they were filming that No More Mr. Nice Guy video for that movie. And I always remember this because she said he was so drunk
Yeah.
that she couldn't even talk to him. Like she couldn't even for like the video they were filming, she was like filming him to do the interview, and like he couldn't pretend to play guitar because he was so
I've actually seen him
blitzed.
live like that.
really.
And
Oh,
now
yeah,
he's
it
like a
was bad.
born again Christian.
And now he's born again Christian, and so much so that all the fans, including myself, have been begging for him to do Peace Cells. Or no, I'm sorry, the first album. No, it was
Yeah,
Peace
Peace
Cells.
Cells.
The Peace Cells, the second album. To have him do like the reunion tour and the playing the whole album beginning to end,
That's my
and he
favorite.
refuses because of Devil's Island and that other The Conjuring.
I think Rest in Peace.
That was
I
such
like
a
Rest
no,
in Peace.
like yeah. Peace Cells is my favorite. So there was another movie, and I can't think of it. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's like Shocker. It was sort of the same concept. It was a guy in prison, and you would have thought it was almost the same movie. Do you remember that or not?
I think I do. Like now that you say it, but I can't remember. It obviously didn't make a big enough impression
No.
on me to remember it. But
Yeah,
And I was like, this is way too much like Shocker. And I don't know if that
Yeah.
movie came out before Shocker or if Shocker was first. I can't remember. But there was another movie very similar to that movie. We'll have to look it up.
yeah, we will. But yeah, Shocker. While we're talking slashers, let's do our top 5 for this month.
Okay. This
Okay.
was tough. Like I said before, like slasher's a hard genre for me to identify.
And if you think about it, it's so
yeah.
broad.
yeah.
So what I try to do is if there's any supernatural involved in it at
It's
all.
not a slasher, right? Yeah.
Well, my one is, but it's.
Yeah,
well, you'll see
I think I know where you're
You'll
going.
see what
But
it
you
is.
think some of the slashers start out as a normal slasher and then turn into like a
Yeah.
supernatural
Yeah,
slasher.
because they get killed like 50 times.
Yeah.
Like
All right, but then let's start with you. You start with your top 5.
all right. So I'll go with my number 5, and this is what starts the supernatural is Child's Play.
Oh yeah,
Like and
Yeah, it's supernatural.
yeah, and
It's
it starts out as a slasher,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it
Right.
is a slasher, but it starts out as a normal person as a slasher.
yeah, and like this a lot of mine are like nostalgic kind of movies. You know, they're ones that I were just getting into horrors. And it spawned like a franchise then. I mean, there was a lot of...
That went on for years and years.
Yeah, and actually they just released like a straight to Netflix. Like
The one I hated was The Bride of Chucky.
Yeah,
That was so dumb.
yeah. But the first one was like, there was some really good kills in it. Like there was some really good, like the first 2 actually had a lot of really good kills in it. So the next one I had on my list was Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I really, really liked the original, and actually what I did before I came over tonight was my daughter and I sat and we watched the trailers for all these, and it's funny because most of these on here, have like a new version and an old version. So we watched the new trailer and the old trailer, and it's funny because Michael Bay seems the one that redoes like all the classic horrors,
Yeah.
and he didn't do bad. Like I really liked the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but his remake of it was decent.
The original was 1974.
Yeah, and I was trying to explain to my daughter why it is that I like the originals just a little bit better. And besides the nostalgia, I think just the way they were shot back then they're not as polished. You know, they seem more gritty and just dirty
Quality of
and
the film.
yeah,
It's
like you with the effects they have these days, the atmosphere, you can build the atmosphere a lot more sinister and dark
too
and
clean,
stuff.
too digital.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that was just like and like it's funny too.
yeah, the house with the flies flying around.
Yeah,
it's
and
like,
it's and the trailers for them too. Like they made great trailers back in the day to really sell the movies. Like trailers today, like like
The show you
they don't have that guy's voice. It's trying to scare you. So
Don't sit home alone and watch this
Yeah.
movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the next one was Halloween, and again the original was one of my favorites, but
Yep.
Rob Zombie did a really good job, I think, with the remake
Yeah.
too. And I think he brought a
I like how he went a
an
little
angst
deeper.
to it that
he
wasn't
went a
there
little
in the-
deeper with
Right,
the
he
story
he
too,
brought
right?
like a deeper human level to
Yeah,
Michael
to Michael
Myers.
Myers.
right, yeah.
Right. And a
And-
lot of people bitched about that and said it was crappy,
Nah.
but I think
I
it was
liked
great.
it. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
Like you kind of saw what it was. Like, yeah, he was evil,
Yeah.
but something like set him off. Like when he grew up in a house like that.
Yeah,
And I think the guy, like, it was obviously Rob's wife that was
Yeah,
Michael
his
Myers'
mother.
mom.
Yeah.
And I think the dude was the same guy who played
Yes.
her brother in
Yep.
Devil's Rejects. So he plays a really good like scumbag. like
Did you know his first big picture role was Chop Top, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
that guy?
Yeah.
Really? No, I didn't know that.
I got his autograph. And,
Really?
And he signed it. Yeah.
Nice.
There's a picture of Chop Top.
Nice. So yeah, that was Halloween was one of the originals that got me into slasher films. Number 2 for me is Scream, and I think that for me was I kind of started getting tired of all the like Friday the 13th Part 7,
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5,
Starts to burn you
Halloween,
out after a while.
Halloween H2O. You know, like I was a big slasher fan.
That is the
And-
best beginning to a movie.
Oh, it was so good, and
Right.
yeah, it was, and it was it was creepy. Like
That's what I'm saying.
I was
that beginning of that movie was just insane.
I was in college at the time, so I was already kind of jaded and wasn't really scared by stuff. But I jumped a couple times during that movie. Like
Yeah.
I really liked it, and
It
they
gave
did
it a creeps. Yeah, like I said, that when she's sitting home, it's like
yeah, and a phone call, and
oh.
the bad thing is that we tried to watch it with my daughter, and it doesn't translate as well because it's a landline phone. You know, it was a landline.
Kids
phone.
have no idea what that is.
Yeah. You know, so it's ringing, and it was super creepy. Like you hear the phone ring, and like it's like, oh shit, not again. Now it's like you know, you get caller ID in your phone, you see who it is, or if it's
Yeah.
you know a number you
Yeah.
don't recognize, you just don't
Yeah.
answer it. You know.
Yeah.
So and it like they did a good job blending some good like comedy in there. You know, I like that. And then
Yeah.
my first one was A Nightmare on Elm Street. That
Yeah.
was like my very first like actual. I mean, besides like the creature features on Saturdays, that was my very first like horror film, and it scared me. Like I was like scared for a couple days after watching that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That
that's
was
what-
not my
that's-
first horror film, but that one did scare the crap out of me.
Yeah.
And we watched it in the middle of the day.
Yeah, I watched it in the middle of the day too.
And
I'm glad I didn't watch it in the middle
Yeah,
of the day.
and then
'cause-
I was like, wow, because that night I was still scared.
No, I know. Yeah, we watched it at night. I was over at
And
my
it was
neighbors, and I went home and I was like, wow.
it was a good blend of like jump scares, but also gore. Like there was a lot of blood in that
gore.
movie.
Dude, the amount of blood was ridiculous, and you
Yeah.
don't even really think about it. Like even with the remake, there wasn't that much blood.
Yeah,
And then when I took my kids to see the remake, and when we watched the old one, it was like
yeah, that Johnny Depp
Blood.
scene, when the
The-
bed just
just
vomits
vomits
blood, like it
blood,
just
yeah.
keeps like splashing,
Not only
and
that, but
splashing,
the
and
scene with the blonde girl, and
Oh,
she's like
yeah.
flipping around on the
Yeah.
ceiling, and when she hits the bed, it just blood like splatters everywhere.
that was
It
yeah.
was just insane amounts of blood. It was like he almost was a fan of those like crazy ass samurai movies from Japan in the 70s. that were,
Yeah.
like if you cut a limb off, it just sprays blood everywhere.
Yeah, and they did a good job. Like Freddy was scary, and he had one or two good one-liners.
Yep.
As the movies progressed, they tried to make him more and more funny, which
They screwed it up.
yeah, they did. It was good to he was scary.
Yeah.
And then they tried to like make him too funny. And
Well, they screwed up part 2 because remember part 2 like just was like what happened?
I don't know part 2.
Yeah, it's
I
like-
don't- I don't acknowledge its
It
existence.
flopped so horribly that Dream Warriors Part 3 was fantastic.
Yeah, I don't acknowledge
yeah,
the existence of part 2.
I didn't
Yeah.
like Dream Warriors either.
Really, I thought it was great.
Maybe 2
I
was
think
so
anything
bad that
after
3
one, I just sort of, yeah. I don't
but nothing beats the original one. I agree. Do you have any honorable mention?
And the remake was actually decent. It wasn't the best, but it was okay.
Again, they try to add a lot of backstory, kind of
Yep.
like the remake of Halloween,
Halloween.
and it just they hit or miss. You know?
Okay, I do have some honorable mentions, and I threw these in here because I like these. Some of them I wasn't sure if they qualify as slasher, but I thought in my mind I could justify why I consider them slasher. So first would be Tucker and Dale versus Evil. It's got the elements of a slasher film. Like it's a bunch of kids going to a cabin. It's got these crazed hillbillies that they think are slashers.
Yep.
And there's a lot of blood and a lot of violence. And then the one kid kind of becomes a psycho at the end of the movie. So it was a great movie. I liked that one. The Strangers. There's not a lot of body count in that movie, so that was one of the
No.
reasons I wasn't
No.
sure if it counted.
I think it does. I think it counts as a slasher film.
In my mind, as I was trying to think of what I would qualify, I had teenagers, some sex of some
Sex,
sort,
Yep.
cabin in the woods, or
Yep,
some
yep.
sort of vacation
Yeah.
destination, and a lot of deaths.
Yep.
The problem with The Strangers for me, and which is why I didn't include it, but thought it could possibly was there wasn't a lot of people that got killed.
Yeah, but I don't think that matters. I think just if you're in that genre, I mean, maybe that matters in terms of rating it,
Okay,
but in just that being a slasher, yeah, that definitely fits an honorable mention. It was a scary movie.
okay,
I
yeah,
remember-
it was, yeah. I'll throw three more out here real quick, and then we'll move on to somebody else. I don't want to take up more time. Candyman.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was scary. And it was different.
The first one.
Yeah,
was,
that was another one. They made like 3 or 4 of them, and it just kind of,
Yeah,
the first one was different,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
reminded me of Bloody Mary. Remember like that
Yes,
Bloody Mary back
yeah.
when you were a kid?
Yes.
It kind of reminded me of that, and he was creepy,
Yeah.
Like,
No. That movie was scary as hell.
and it had a great like story to it, like
Yeah.
why he was doing.
Surprised
what he
nobody
did.
made a good version of Bloody Mary, right? Just story
Yeah.
when we were
Yeah, right.
kids
You would think.
in the mirror. It's a
But
Bloody-
instead, this generation is getting their Slender Man.
yeah.
Yeah. This is a newer one, and it's a spoof on horror movies, A Cabin in the Woods. I like Joss Whedon. I was expecting a lot more from this. It wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, but I liked it. Kind of dissected what they do in horror movies,
Yep.
in slasher films, and it had a really cool ending to it.
Yeah, it was. It was good.
And this is one. I don't know if you guys have seen this, and if not, we should like add this to like one of our movie nights. Student Bodies.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like the spoof with the breather.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Oh no, that's a great movie.
Yeah,
it's
good.
and it got really bad. Like I looked at Rotten Tomatoes, and I
Oh,
think
no.
it
Yeah.
got like maybe like I liked it. It was one of my.
I thought it was good.
It had elements of a lot of different horror movies
Yeah,
in it.
they had
Yeah.
that crazy guy, the janitor. Or whatever,
Yeah.
and you thought he was.
Yeah.
Obviously he wasn't, but you sort of thought he was the.
Yeah, and
everybody thought he
they
was the
take
killer.
they take a jab at like the ratings agency for
Yep.
what makes a movie rated R
Yep.
and stuff,
Yeah.
and just the fact that he's like climbing up the stairs and breathing real heavy.
Yeah.
Stop running! Oh, these stairs!
Yeah.
Like it was not it was based on a slasher, but it was funny, and I
Yeah,
like
it was good.
I like
That
funny
was probably
horror,
one of the first sort of
funny
comedy
horror.
slash-
Like I like funny
Right.
horror.
Yeah.
So, all right, so those are my honorable mentions.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going with Psycho as number 5.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
Again, not a lot of body count.
You're
but-
talking original Psycho?
Yeah, you know
or-
what? I can go Anthony Perkins or the original. I think Anthony Perkins did a great job in the. So
Yeah,
we'll bundle them. We'll bundle them.
I never even
together.
saw the original. I thought Anthony Perkins was the original, and then Vince Vaughn was like the
Vince
remake,
Vaughn
but-
is a remake.
He was
yeah.
the remake.
But-
See, I wasn't a fan of it, so I'll do Anthony Perkins and Alfred Hitchcock's
Yeah.
original.
Yeah.
For sure. Just remember seeing the black and white when I was a kid.
Yep.
and
It was creepy.
Yeah.
The the mother.
Yeah, the mother that,
And
Infamously,
you never
they
saw
used-
her, and you just your imagination sort
and then
of
when
went
you,
wild.
then when you saw like
Yeah.
Infamously, they used chocolate syrup for blood.
Yeah.
oh really
Yep.
oh because it was black and white at the
Yep.
time and
It had the consistency of blood.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was my number 5. Number 4, I'm going to go with April Fool's Day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's one I've only seen like one time, so I don't have a whole
It's
lot.
not
of,
one that made a major impression on me, but it
Okay.
was good. It was a good slasher film.
Yep. No, I liked it because it was different than everything else at the time.
Yeah,
Like
definitely
the ending
was.
was like, wow, it was
Yeah,
sort of sucked you in, and then the ending was
yeah.
sort of. So that's why I liked it. Something different too. Number 3, I'm gonna go probably Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Again, that was my first horror movie, and it made a serious impression in me.
Yeah, I actually saw the second one before I saw the first one.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was at a sleepover at a friend's house, and I think the second one was freshly out on VHS or
Right.
whatever, and so we all sat around and watched it. And I was like, it was scary.
And I'll have to, and the reason why it sounds crazy, but what scared me more for Friday the 13th was Mrs. Voorhees more than
Yeah.
Jason.
See, that's the thing about that first one that really kind of
Yeah,
I
because
thought she was creepier when they showed her,
yeah,
sort of yelling at the kid. That
Yeah.
just creeped me out, and then you
Yeah.
saw her head. So that aspect of the movie sort of scared me more than Jason did.
Yeah, and then that's the thing about the first one is there was no Jason.
Yeah.
it was
Right.
all her.
yeah.
Yep.
That's
And
fa-
then
it was a
and
great
then there was
movie.
like what 20 more afterwards.
yeah,
Yeah.
it
So-
got crazy.
Jason in space.
he gets struck by lightning and comes back to
And
life.
you couldn't get the the
Yeah.
yeah, you couldn't get that out of your head when you were a kid.
Yeah,
That was the
You
coolest
know.
thing about a lot of the old horror movies, like the
Yeah.
and the ding 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 ding
Yep.
ding from
Yeah.
Halloween. Like
Yeah.
they all had like a good
Yep.
hook
Yeah.
musically.
Number 2, I'm gonna go Halloween.
It's a
Halloween.
good one.
That's for obvious reasons.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yep. And just did that mask, when you were a kid,
Iconic.
Yeah.
Iconic.
and he didn't die at the end. So and it was one of those movies where it could have been real. When you were a kid, you're like, oh, and he didn't die. Was he out? Was he outside?
Yeah, right.
It was like Nightmare on Elm Street. It was like, oh well, he's sort of in your dreams.
True.
And
Yeah.
One of the things that made him, along with Jason, scary, didn't talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. And and in the first one, Freddy didn't talk much.
Right.
Right.
But he did talk enough.
True.
that-
He did talk enough. You're right.
But
He
Michael
did.
Myers was really freaked me out, especially the parts where he's like has the sheet over his head.
Yeah.
He just never says anything.
Yeah.
And that's scary.
and he just keeps coming at you.
Yeah.
Yep. And number one, I'm going Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Fantastic.
We
Yeah.
already discussed
Fantastic.
that movie.
The whole family was just like, creepy.
Yeah. And
Any
again,
o-
that was based on a true story, sort of.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Ed Gein,
Um,
right? Is that the name of the
Any honorable mentions?
Yeah. Prom night.
good one?
That's
Yeah,
a good one.
good one.
That's a really good one. I almost put that one on my list.
Yep.
That's the thing about slashers. There's so many. There,
Yeah.
there
Yeah,
is.
It's a very broad
Yeah.
spectrum genre. It's like there's so many and so many different types of slasher
Yeah, and that's why I
movies.
could have kept going. Like I was like, yeah, I have a lot that I couldn't include, but I didn't want to.
It's very difficult to pick a top five.
Yep. So I went prom night again. It was kind of the silent
it
killer.
was
and-
almost on my list because that was such a good movie.
and it could have happened. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
sort of real. And My Bloody Valentine was on there.
Yep.
Black Christmas didn't make my list, but that's a good one.
No, but yeah, well, maybe we'll do that around the holidays.
Holiday
Yeah, we
holiday
do
horrors.
Holiday horrors.
And House of a Thousand Corpses.
Fantastic.
Oh,
Another
that's
fantastic
one of the
movie.
ones that gives me nightmares. Like the first time I watched that, I was like, oh.
Visually, it was pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
I think the fact that they were just crazy, and the only reason they were doing that is because they wanted to.
They just
There
wanted to
was
kill
no,
people.
they just
All right. So here's my top five. I don't know that anyone's going to agree with this, but my number five,
we don't have to.
yeah.
my number five is Hatchet.
Okay.
Oh, with Danny Trejo, right?
Yes.
That was
I
good.
really
I
liked
liked it.
Hatchet because it was kind of following the formula of all the rest,
Right.
but it had a couple twists in there that just made it like this is a great movie.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked Hatchet.
Yeah. Hatchet was my number five.
I actually forgot when I was thinking of this. That is a good one.
My number four is Friday the 13th, Part 1.
Okay.
Again, like I said,
Right.
just-
Yeah.
it was terrifying to me. It was my first movie, first
Mhm.
horror movie, and it was terrifying to me because at the end, when it turned out it's the crazy mother
Yeah.
killing, it was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
this could be real. It's not a guy coming back to life. It's someone's
Yeah,
crazy
and you used to go
mom.
camping when you were a kid. And
Right,
There was
and
always
yeah.
lakes or ponds and
Yeah.
campgrounds.
Yeah, and that's
being
the
in the
thing.
woods.
Right, right. And the thing is, me and my cousins and all that, we scared the crap out of each other when we went camping after that. It was like, it was one of those things, Yeah, and then my number three is the original Halloween.
Okay.
Again, like I said, he's the guy that doesn't talk. Michael Myers doesn't talk, and that is scary. That is very scary to me. And it added that extra, there were a lot of jump scares too, where like he would just show up somewhere and like you'd just be like, oh, what
He
the-"
did a really good job, like shooting that movie too. Like just the atmosphere. I thought he did a good job. Like
Yeah, with
just
the neighborhood.
yeah,
It was
Yeah,
Halloween.
Yep. The mental
treat.
ward that he escaped from in the rain when he steals the car. It's like that's
yeah. And I
This
think
is awesome.
I think again that goes back to what I was saying. Like the older ones, just because they're not as polished, they kind of come across as just a bit creepier.
yeah. Yep. And then my number two, the original Nightmare on Elm Street. Again, I remember very distinctly. I was at my cousin's house down the street from my house. It was summertime. It just came out on VHS, and we called like 5 or 6 kids from the neighborhood. We all went down there and watched it in the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah.
We like closed all the blinds and everything and made it dark in the room, and it scared the crap out of me.
Yeah,
Like I couldn't stop talking about the movie for days
You know,
afterwards because it was
People
that
don't
scary.
notice either, and this is what scared me about the first movie was Freddy's voice, and they changed it.
Yeah.
In part 2, like
Yeah.
it was only that way in the first movie. I don't know if you realize
Yep.
that or not.
Yep.
So
No.
his voice was a lot creepier.
Yeah, they used
first movie.
more effects on Robert Englund's voice during the first movie.
Yep.
They made it deeper and kind of more grungier.
Yep.
And then they went kind of closer to his normal voice as
Mm.
they kept moving on with the films. But yeah, the first one, he was the scariest.
and I still when I hear like trees or something like that scraping
Or
against the
even the-
windows, and you kind of get that. here. Like,
or the nursery rhyme too, the 1, 2.
yeah,
fellas come
those little
and
girls
get
were
you.
creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those little girls were creepy.
Yeah, and the end was really kind of you thought it was all over, and all of a sudden, like the mom just get pulled through the window
And
of the door
and then the top flies down
on the convertible. Yeah.
convertible, and it's
Yeah.
red and green stripes.
Yep.
But then
Yeah.
they ruined it with that stupid sequel that
Oh
doesn't
my
exist.
God, it was horrible. Nightmare on
I
Elm
was
Street
so
was
jacked
horrible.
to see the sequel. I was like, oh man, I can't wait. And I watched it. I'm like,
What the hell is
what the hell
this?
is this? Who's this stupid kid? Freddy's like trying to be his buddy? Or like, what is this, a buddy film?
Wait a minute, is that his dad? And then my number one is Psycho, the original 1960,
Okay, good.
black and white. The reason why I picked that as number one is that was the beginning of it all. Like Psycho was based on Ed Gein,
Mhm.
so the Ed Gein murders. All the people that he murdered, the bodies that he dug up, all the crazy stuff that he did, because he kept the corpse of his mother in the other side of his house with the wall. He like bricked off the wall
Yes.
and kept her corpse on the other side of the house, like she was still alive. And that is where this idea of Psycho was written into a book. And then that's when,
Hitchcock.
Alfred Hitchcock bought every copy of the book because he didn't want anyone to read it.
No
and
way.
then made a movie out
See, I
of it.
didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. That's
He
kinda
bought
cool.
every single copy. He didn't want
That's
anyone.
probably easier back then.
Yeah, he bought every copy, and then he went to the publisher and said, "I want the rights to make this movie, and I want you to stop publishing it."
Wow.
So, and then he made the movie, and he was a groundbreaking
Yeah.
for this movie because it's the first slasher movie, and he killed off the star in the first 15
Yeah.
minutes of the movie,
Yeah.
You don't realize that.
which that's unheard of.
It's true.
It was a fantastic movie, and it kind of was the ball that got everything rolling.
Yep.
And that's why I have a lot. It's one of the movies that I have downstairs on my video collection, digital, and I watch it all the time because it was the first one, and it was very tightly based because the author who wrote the book was so terrified by what they read about Ed Gein that they wrote that story, and it was so kind of close to what Ed did, except for the fact that he didn't run a hotel, and
Yeah.
they had to change it up a bit. But the whole Ed Gein thing, it was that movie so much. I loved it so much that when I was in high school, I wanted to know who the hell is Ed Gein, and I bought the. There was this author. His name was Harold Schechter, and he wrote true crime stories, and he did the full investigation of Ed Gein, and he interviewed like all the police and everything, and told the whole story. And he had a book called Deviant. And then that book, Deviant, was read by the guys in Slayer, and they wrote Dead Skin Mask based on Deviant.
nice.
Yeah. So it was the beginning of all the slashers.
Did you enjoy the Anthony Perkins version?
Anthony Perkins was in the first and the second. Yeah, the
Yeah.
original black and white 1960 had Anthony Perkins in it. And then he did the color remake.
Yes.
It was Psycho 2, they were calling it, right? So, but it was almost the same exact movie. But he was in that too.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I
saw
thought the
that one
Vince
in that
Vaughn
theater,
remake
too.
was okay too. It wasn't that bad.
I like Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
I thought he did a pretty good job. He's got that kind of weird, manic.
True Crimes was
Yep.
the best role he was in.
So my honorable mentions are Scream.
Yep.
Fantastic movie. There was
Wes
another one
Craven.
that had a lot of little comedies in it. They kind of made fun of like the whole
The formula for
cookie cutter formula for slasher movies. So it was fantastic. And the other honorable mention was Clay Pigeons.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I guess that is a slasher.
Yeah,
huh?
because he was a mass murderer.
That's
Yeah.
dude, Vince Vaughn was great in that.
Yes, that was one of those movies when I watched it,
Lester
like,
the
Yeah.
molester.
yeah, it's one of those movies where I'm like, why didn't this win any awards?
Dude, that was
it
such
so
a good movie. And there's so many people that when they're, hey, you got any good movies or any movie recommendations? You should watch Clay Pigeons.
Yeah.
What the hell's that?
Yeah, people are like, what?
I was like,
Never
it's got
heard of that.
Joaquin Phoenix and Vince Vaughn and Janine Garofalo, and I said
Yeah.
it's like a weird
Yeah.
murder.
It just blows your mind.
Yeah, I didn't
it
even
blows
think-
your mind a couple times. In that
I didn't
movie.
even think of that. I love when they're out fishing and he's like, man overboard, man overboard.
Yeah, it was a very good movie. Very good.
Oh, there's so many good parts to that movie.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that as an actual slasher, but you're right. Now that I think about
yeah,
it,
because then he killed all those people, and yeah.
and there's actual there's a lot of blood and guts in it. Like,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep. Yeah. There you go.
that was good. Oh man, This is a good movie. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to watch that now.
I still have it on DVD
Yeah,
because
me too.
I
Me
remember
too.
when it came out. I didn't see it in the theaters, and when I saw the DVD, I'm like, oh, Vince Vaughn, Joaquin Phoenix, Jean Garofalo. All right, and I bought it. I'm like, oh my god, this is so good. I had to give it to all my friends and said, you
Yeah.
gotta watch this movie. It's like a
I rented it from Hollywood Video.
nice.
And then I saw it and I kept it. Actually, got late fees for it because I watched it probably 3 times. And then once there was the Hollywood Video that's Big Woody's now.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
going out of business, and they had it for sale for like $3.99. So I bought it. So I have a
VHS?
no. It's a DVD.
Okay.
Did you ever see
Yeah.
Clay Pigeons?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. It's a fantastic movie.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
guess we probably could have done top 10 with this category. Right?
I know
Yeah,
there's
right.
just so many. There's
So I'm
just so
thinking,
many.
I know what you did last summer. That was sort of like Screamish.
Yep.
Right? That was
Yeah.
good.
Sleepaway Camp was another one
Yeah.
that was
On
really
and
something.
On and on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was trying to, like, in my mind, I know there's not really certain criteria, but I was trying to limit myself to what I would pick based off of certain things.
Yeah, and I think what I'd like to do maybe next time is with our next top 5. I'd like to do top 5 scream queens. So pick your top 5 female scream queens from any type of movie that you can think of. But scream
Based
scream
on
Queen's
looks,
really-
acting.
whatever you and you can say
Breasts
how you judged it, right?
Yeah.
Is it the chesticles?
Yeah.
Is it the
I'll tell you what, in Scream, Rose McGowan, that one scene where she got stuck in the garage door, but she had that like,
yeah, Rose McGowan is just not the same anymore.
no, she's not,
she
and
doesn't.
I feel bad like
She
now
shaved
that
her head, didn't she?
yeah, and
Well, now we realize all the psychological
Yeah.
crap that was going on because
Yeah.
Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, you got like the Quentin Tarantino flick. Or no, that was Ria Rodriguez one she did, right?
Which one?
The one with the gun leg.
Yeah,
Planet
that was
Terror.
Rodriguez. Yeah,
yeah,
Planet Terror.
Planet Terror, correct. Yeah, and even Rodriguez did the he did great stuff. So
Yep.
I think what we're gonna do, I got a couple ideas for top 5 lists over the next few months.
Cool.
But we'll go with the Scream Queens for the next top 5.
Okay.
And then we got to pick out a movie to watch. And I think we either watch the one that I
Veronica?
suggested, Veronica, or there's a whole number of them. It seems like all of a sudden Netflix has been a deluge of
Yeah.
horror movies.
Yeah.
suddenly. Which is great. I'm good for that. I just wish there were more R-rated horror movies.
yeah. That was, I mean, we didn't even talk about our movie, did we?
No, not yet.
As I say, that I mean, that had potential.
Yes.
There was some definitely some scenes that. Although was it? I guess that could have been rated R. Based off the blood.
Yeah, it wasn't though. All right, so then let's go right
Yeah,
into
all
that.
right.
The movie we watched last week was The Babysitter on Netflix. And I have to say, just overall general impression, it was a great movie.
I really enjoyed it.
It was
Like,
entertaining.
It had a little bit of everything.
Really good.
Yep.
I mean, and even though there was no like boobs in it, we had some hot chicks making
yeah.
out. And that kind
It
of
had a little light comedy in there.
And I
little,
would say it's a step above a B movie. Right?
Yeah, I
would say.
I wouldn't categorize
Definitely.
it as a B movie.
I you know what, and I actually really enjoyed the relationship between the babysitter and the kid. Like they actually
Yeah.
like I actually bought into their like friendship,
Yeah.
which made it even worse. That
Yeah, once she turned on him, it was like, holy crap.
yeah, it's like, oh, I thought they were like really cool with each
Yeah,
other. Like,
yeah.
and then towards the end though, like she's still one of my favorite. There was a lot of really good
Guess we should
one-liners.
a
say
lot of great
spoiler alert. for
Yeah,
movies,
spoiler
too.
alert,
Wait,
anyone who
won't-
didn't watch it.
Oh yeah,
If you didn't watch it, you need to turn off the podcast right now.
yeah. There was a lot of really good one-liners in the like the like the black guy when it wasn't really, this part wasn't really a one-liner, but like all the blood just kept squirting him in the like just kept squirting and squirting.
in his mouth.
Yeah, didn't he say, what was the line that he said? It's some joke about getting a disease
A
from all that
disease,
blood.
yeah.
Yeah. And the muscular white guy when he was running around without his shirt off, like he all of a sudden befriended that kid because the bullies were picking on him.
Yeah.
Right.
He's like, go out there.
He
kick
sort of
their-"
had a soft side too, right?
There was so much like different shit going on.
Yeah, I mean that there too is pretty crazy. And that same guy, like near the end, he's like, I don't care about this ritual stuff. I just wanted to kill people.
Yeah.
That was great. That was great. And he winds up getting hung in the tree. It was so good.
Yeah, there was a lot of good, like, different deaths, too. Like, the way different people died.
The
Was
girl
kinda-
that got shot in the boob, and they thought she was dead, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have one bad boob."
Yeah, she was all disappointed about her. She was all disappointed about being shot in the boob. And the Asian chick, when she crawled underneath the house to get him.
That's one of those things. The scenes with the tarantulas. If you have fear of spiders,
Yeah,
that part
I do
alone
not.
was terrifying. No, I don't either. But
I don't.
There's a lot of big spiders in there.
Arachnophobes.
Yeah,
That was a good movie.
it was good. It was very good. I was very impressed by it.
Arachnophobia?
Yeah, that was
Oh,
a good
yeah,
movie.
no, that was great. John Goodman
Oh, yeah.
was in
Oh,
it.
And that was
He
kind of
like,
scary,
he's-
too. Like, I was surprised.
Yeah,
that
no.
I wasn't expecting it to be
for
scary.
spiders, yeah, I'm with you. It had some tension to it, right?
Yeah, and so there was hot chicks in Babysitter.
Yeah.
There was good
They're all
comedy.
good looking.
There was good, like, blood and guts, I think.
Yeah, there was good, original deaths, right? Like you said, when the
Yeah.
Asian girl was underneath the crawl space. There.
Yep,
It
he
was
got
sort of-
blowed up.
Yep.
And the kid was
That's
pretty.
what you do have. You have to be creative.
You know what? Also,
when you're
I
making a
liked
movie
that
like
that
that.
little kid's like girlfriend or whoever that girl was that said, your parents are probably going away so they could have sex.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
And they sort of kind of were, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly why they went away. That little girl was all about sex. She said that, when you go to bed, your babysitter's having an orgy.
Yeah.
That's what he said to him when he came downstairs. He thought they were down there having an orgy.
Yeah, the things that were funny is the dad that Ken Marino.
Yep.
So that guy's always in great comedies and
Yeah, he was originally from the state, I think, right?
yes, yeah, and then he was in the we mentioned it.
One
while
Wet Hot
watching it.
Summer.
Yeah,
Wet
the Wet Hot Summer.
Wet Hot American Summer.
Yes, Wet Hot American Summer. It was hilarious in there. He had the little afro. in that.
Yeah, and
That's
he was the guy who was like all about like banging chicks, and it turns out he was a virgin.
That was good. But it turns out, so the girl in Babysitter, right? The main character, she was in
She was cute. She
Ash
was-
versus Evil Dead. She was Heather,
Get out.
the one friend. Yeah,
And I said she sort of kind of reminded me of Kelly Richards.
yeah, she was very cute. Yeah, like a young.
I
Kelly
liked her
Richards,
eyes.
yeah.
She had like
Yeah.
some really cool with her eyes.
Yeah, so
And that redhead, she was from like a Disney show, like Just Dance or
yeah, you know what? I couldn't remember the name of it. My daughter.
Bella
told me-
Thorne.
Yeah, Bella.
Bella Thorne, yeah.
But what was the Disney show she was in? Wasn't it like?
It was a dancing show. I know it was a my daughter used to watch it. I know it was a dancing show.
And I can't remember. All I know is that she's cute. Way too young.
Yeah, and I know that I've seen her like in the tabloids, and she's got both her nipples pierced.
Whoa.
Yeah, I guess we should come up with some sort of rating for movies we watch too.
Yeah,
Maybe on the
probably
website.
Yeah, so we
can,
should like do like we can't do
5
thumbs or
skulls
tomatoes
skulls
or
something or
I think what I was thinking about too, and I don't know if you guys what you feel about this, is starting a Facebook page for it. So this way we can like post horror movie news
Trailers.
and other crap. Yeah,
sure.
because
movies we
back
saw,
in
seen.
the 90s when people would do websites of that crap, I thought it's too much to do a website.
Yeah.
Just do a Facebook feed.
Yeah,
and
that's
this way you
easy.
can
That's
just
true.
Post crap.
Like
in there.
usually when we see something like cool, we'll just send us a message. But yeah,
Yeah.
it might be cool just
Here
to
we
do.
just post it
Post
into
it
the
on our
Facebook,
Facebook
page.
and then people can follow us on Facebook and
Yeah.
and see all the crap that we post into there. So that'll be good.
Yeah, we have to think of like a rating system.
Yeah, we're gonna do like 5 stars,
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's try.
Pentagrams.
Let's try pentagrams.
Pentagrams.
Upside down crosses.
burning crosses. Yeah,
Yeah, upside down cross.
yeah, we have to think of something. But
Yeah.
that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Blood drops.
That's a good idea too. That's a good idea too.
Goat heads.
Goat heads.
Um,
Like Blackjack from The Witch. That
Yeah.
goat was creepy.
Yeah, what's his name? It's Black Phillip. Black Phillip.
Oh, Black
Yeah,
Phillip.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
It's
it
funny
is.
because my
That was a great movie.
my stepson's wife just got a huge Black Phillip tattoo.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
This ginormous Black Phillip tattoo on her.
Cool.
They love that movie so much. When they watch it, they're like, "Oh my god, that movie was so good." I go, "Yeah, it was pretty good."
Has that director done anything? I don't know. They should follow up with that film somehow or another.
I still like wonder like if it was all just in the like was the goat really like possessed by the devil or was it?
Well, it's
Or were they
based,
just
it's based on a story told by Puritans, so
Yeah,
perhaps
Probably
not.
not.
right? I mean, and they were out there in the middle of nowhere on their own in the dead of winter,
Yeah,
like
nothing to do.
half starving, like
Yeah.
you know, like I don't know.
Yeah, the mind.
Yeah, maybe the goat does
certainly-
talk. Who knows?
Yeah, they could have eaten some spoiled food and messed them up.
That's true.
Wild mushrooms in the
Some,
forest.
Mushrooms, yeah.
Some of the ergotamine from like the
Yeah.
spoiled rye grains.
Right, there you go.
Yeah.
Could be that.
Trip out
could
on
be
that.
Could be a number of things.
Drank a lot of mead. We don't know.
Yeah, but the story was good. The story was good with that. And my favorite part is when Black Phillip at the end turns into the man
Yeah.
and he says to the girl, "Would you like to live deliciously?" Like, that's great.
Yeah,
That's like the best line in the whole
yeah,
thing.
because it's not like scary, really. Like you know,
It's like, well,
yeah, sure,
why not?
Why not? Yeah, who wouldn't?
Yeah. And I think that's like the origin of that story is Puritans saying, you're gonna burn in hell if you live like this or whatever. But they almost made it too appealing.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, we'll recommend The Babysitter. I guess, like we said, we don't really want to spoil it for anybody if they want to watch it.
Yeah.
So we'll talk briefly about the movies that we watch.
Yep. And we'll do a little rating.
I gotta remember not to throw. I just like to talk about stuff, and I forget that we might want to recommend stuff to people, but not give away like the entire.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Let's assume that any movie that's 2010 and
forward.
earlier that people have seen it already.
Yeah.
New stuff that we watch, we won't give spoilers for. But if we're talking about Nightmare on Elm Street, like
Oh yeah, for sure.
Excellent.
I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but Freddy dies at the end, but not really.
No.
That's funny. That's funny. What was during that movie when they did the remake of it? What was the Nightmare on Elm Street movie that was playing in the theater there? Was it like part 5 or something? Do you remember
No.
that?
I know.
4. I think it was 4.
It was 4.
I want to
Okay.
say it's 4. Yeah, I'm sitting there in my mind. I'm picturing the marquee, and I want to say it was 4.
4. Okay.
Yeah.
Was 4? I have a hard time remembering because they all kind of blend
Is that
together.
Dream Warriors?
Dream Child.
No, Dream Warriors was 3. Was it?
3. So it's
I don't think
Child.
was it?
Was that with
That was the
Arquette?
one where you find out that
Patricia
that
Arquette?
Freddie's mom was like the nun, and she was like raped by all the inmates.
Was that 4? I thought
think
that was
so.
5.
Was that Patricia Arquette too, right?
That's right. Patricia Arquette.
Well, she was the nun.
She was the dream child. No, I think she was the dream child.
Yeah,
Mm,
she
she's
was the
cute.
daughter, right?
She's cute.
Let me just look it
I
up.
liked her sister better, actually.
Rosanna.
Rosanna.
Oh, Rosanna, yeah.
Arquette, yeah.
She was cute too.
Yes.
Rosanna Arquette. Yeah, yeah, she was.
Don't they have?
I have her Playboy issue.
Oh, she did Playboy.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was. You know what? I was in junior high school. She was in
Nice.
Playboy, and I said, "Mom, can I please buy this month's Playboy?" And she was like, "What?" I'm like, "Just this month, please,
you know, it's bad when you're asking your mom, "Come
Yeah.
on, just let me buy it."
just please." And she goes, "Okay, but I don't want to see it." So I me and my
Don't worry,
friends-
it'll be in my room.
my friends, because
Yeah.
I wasn't old enough
You
to
won't
buy
be
it.
able to
So
open up the book.
I wasn't old enough to buy it. So I had to with my mom. I had to make my mom go into
Oh,
the
no.
store and buy the Rosanna Arquette. It was Rosanna Arquette.
Rosanna Arquette.
Playboy magazine. I had to make my mom buy it for me.
Wow.
That's funny. That is funny.
Yeah, and my friends were like, "Your mom?" I
You
said,
had to
"Look,
do lots
wait,
of
hey.
chores.
I don't know anyone else that would buy it for me."
Desperate times, man.
and I
Desperate
really want to see Rosanna Arquette naked. So I had to ask my mom. I think I might have been 14 or something.
That's now one of my new favorite stories.
Yeah.
That's one of my new favorite stories right there.
Yeah. And my friends were like, "You have balls of steel." And I said, "No, because I know that my mom, she's liberal. She
Yeah.
would probably be okay with it." She's one of those moms where, like, I remember probably the year before that, when I was 13, she found a dirty magazine that someone gave to me. It was like tucked under my mattress.
Mhm.
And I went to my dad's for the weekend, And while I was gone, my mom
She
cleaned my
folded
room.
and pressed it.
Yeah, she cleaned my room. She changed the sheets. And when she was changing the sheets and lifting it up the top, she's like, "What the?" And then I come home from my dad's, and like the magazine's like laying on top of my bed,
All
like,
folded and pressed.
Yeah.
The pages are all unstuck.
and I'm like,
I cleaned this for you, honey.
I'm guessing this is a message. This is like on my bed now. Yeah, so that's why I had the balls to ask for the Playboy after that.
So she already knew.
Oh yeah. And come on, Roseanne Arquette.
Yep.
You know, when you're a teenager and you saw her like in some of the movies she was in.
She's the younger of the two, right?
No.
Older. She's
The older.
Yeah.
She's actually the.
Was she the one in True Romance, or was that Patricia?
That was Patricia.
It was Patricia. Roseanne Arquette was in that Madonna movie.
Gotcha. Desperately Seeking Susan.
Yes.
She was also in a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, right?
She
Yes.
was. Yeah, she was in a bunch actually in the 80s.
I liked.
She had cute, perky little boobs, and
They
and
were
the-
perky.
the pictures of her in Playboy was like she was swimming in the ocean naked.
Okay.
It was awesome. It was awesome. It was awesome magazines. Yeah.
There was a few. Yeah, I remember a few of those. Well, there actually when we were younger, there was a lot of celebs. They started introducing the celebs to Playboy.
I was excited when the Debbie Gibson one came out.
I have
yeah,
that one
yeah,
too.
yeah,
I
yeah,
have
yeah.
that one too. I kept 3 Playboys from
And Christy Swanson.
All right, we're getting
That
off
was another
track.
I
good one.
didn't keep that one.
Downtown Julie Brown.
When I was a kid, I bought 3, right? And I think when I was married, I might have bought one too, because I think that's when Debbie Gibson came
Yeah,
out,
it
right?
was. It was probably
Yeah, I remember my wife bitched at me at the time.
No, I remember Debbie
My wife
Gibson,
didn't
too.
care.
I, was,
I used
no,
to have.
I was
I had a
totally excited.
subscription. My wife was like,
Really?
before my daughter was born, I had a subscription.
What
We
about
just-
the other pop star, Tiffany?
She was in one. She was in
She
one.
was
Yeah.
in, but I didn't get that one. I just got
No,
Debbie Gibson because,
It was
oh my
Deborah,
God,
too,
Debbie
I think.
Gibson.
I know.
Yeah, right. And Christy Swanson actually had a really good layout too.
but what was the third one I had?
Was it the girl from Baywatch?
No, it was Hef's wife.
Saved by the Bell.
It was Hef's wife. What was her name?
Oh,
The blonde that he married
Yeah.
from Canada.
yeah.
The one he had kids with. What the hell was her
I
name?
don't remember.
Holly.
Oh.
He was married to 3 chicks at once,
Yeah,
wasn't he?
that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
Holly.
yeah. That
Oh, it was the
much
first
later on.
one.
This was like the 80s.
She was like the president of the company there for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
She was right. Yeah, I know. Who you're
And even
talking
after
about.
they got divorced, like she
she
still ran
yeah,
part of it. Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Um,
Yeah, I'm thinking of Holly Robinson. No, that's the black girl from 21 Jump Street.
Jim Carrey's wife. Did she ever do
Ooh,
that redhead?
Kimberly Conrad.
Conrad.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I kept up until I
Way off
left
topic.
my
Yeah, right.
up until I left my
This
wife.
is going from a horror
Well, we're
movie
talking about
podcast.
screen
to-
queens, I guess. That's
Yeah, yeah. There you
Well,
go.
if we
Screen-
start talking
that's where it
about
ties
half
back
bagging
in.
chicks, that's kind of scary.
Kimberly Conrad. That was the third.
Yeah,
one.
you're right. Yeah, that
Yeah.
she was cute.
Yeah, she was. She was
Lauren
really
Holly, who you're thinking of.
Yes.
Right. It would be nice if she.
Oh,
Yeah.
she was.
She was in Playboy at all.
Yeah, this is just going completely
Yeah.
off the rails.
So, what other horror movies are coming out soon?
Trailers.
There's
what
no
other trailer?
really
we've
big,
seen some other trailers,
but there's
right?
nothing really big that is coming out. Like, yeah, there's
we
all
missed.
the comic book
we
movies and stuff.
bypassed Insidious 4. And they said that grossed the most money out of all
Really?
the movies. Yeah, part 4. And I'm sure The Nun will
Oh yeah, I forgot about
knock
that one.
out of
Yeah,
the
but
park.
when's that
That's
one
coming
even
out.
coming
That's
out,
coming
right?
out soon, I think.
Yeah, there's a
Next month,
trailer out
maybe.
for that one. I saw the trailer.
We have to maybe go see that in the theater, The Nun.
I think that's a good idea.
Yep.
The Nun for sure. Yeah. A Quiet
Is that-
Place. That one.
Oh, that's coming out
We
soon.
missed that too.
That's coming
or
out
is
soon,
it-
I think.
I don't think that's out yet. That's
We've
coming
talked
out.
about that one though.
Was that select theaters? Maybe that's we may have missed that.
I don't think so.
Yeah, but we
Let me
were
see
talking
what the
about it.
release date is on that. There.
I just started seeing
April 6th.
aggressive trailers recently, so that
Okay.
doesn't, yeah,
Quiet
that-
Place comes out April 6th.
April 6th.
The Nun comes out June
Ooh.
23rd.
Wow.
Insidious, The Last Key, we missed.
Yep.
Um,
DVD?
Yeah, we could do that, or we could do it digital. I can rent it digitally. A couple bucks. Slender Man,
I don't know. Yeah.
that one is in August.
I don't know if I'm feeling that one.
I'd have to see another trailer with a little bit more reveal to it. Like
The
it's
Slender Man doesn't scare me.
it's
Even
piqued
the
my
game
interest.
when I
but
played. Did you ever play the game?
no,
I played the game. It just never did anything for me.
The Predator is coming out. That's the remake of Predator.
That
Movies.
it's kind of sad that they're remaking movies now that
I don't know that that's one that needed a remake. It still was pretty relevant, and the special effects were still pretty good
Yeah.
for that
Yep.
first Predator movie.
I really liked Alien versus Predator. I thought that was a different.
But yeah, you'd think with the way the movies are doing better in the horror genre that they'd be pumping them a little more out.
Yeah, but there's not enough horror
With
R-rated
right?
movies, right?
It-
yeah.
It really was
That
pretty
should have
amazing.
said that. That's why I said people should start cranking things out.
Yeah, so we're looking in terms of R-rated movies that are coming out. Hereditary, the one that everyone
Oh,
was
yeah,
going
there were-
crazy
yeah.
about at Sundance, is rated R. So that one might be worth watching. Not just for the fact that it was
That's coming out
one of the
this week
highest
too,
rated.
isn't it? I think that's this week. Might be tomorrow.
no, June 8th.
June 8th. Who's in it?
That has. I don't know who's in it. I know who directed it.
That looks good.
Ari Aster directed it. That contains. let's
Yeah,
see,
they keep
stars
saying
are
it's like mind blowing. This movie, it's Hereditary.
Toni Collette, Gabriel Bryan, Alex Wolff,
Oh, Gabriel Byrne. No,
Byrne. Yeah, Byrne. I'm sorry, Byrne.
Well, I like him.
Alex
Yeah.
Wolff.
he was in that. He
Millie
was like an angel or
Shapiro.
something. What movie was that? He played an angel. That was the Christopher. That was Prophecy.
Oh, he played
wasn't it?
a. He played a. I think he played Satan in that.
Oh, did he?
In that Schwarzenegger flick, the last shit. Schwarzenegger did one like the end days.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gabriel Byrne played Satan in that one. And he was in Usual Suspects too. He played
Yep.
the guy that they thought was Kaiser Sose, but was not. Keaton.
Did we miss? Did we miss the new Hellraiser?
Yeah.
I
no. Yeah.
Was that a straight to? I think that was straight to like
Digital.
digital. I think because I remember seeing it. But it's not the same guy playing Pinhead anymore, right? Like
No.
it's
Yeah,
I
the,
thought
the
it
guy
was.
playing Pinhead is old now.
I thought they brought him back for that movie
I don't think so.
for the remake. I think
Who
so.
was it?
oh, and the you saw the I think we talked. Did we talk about this last time? The new season of American Horror Story.
No.
It's like a combo murder house coven.
Okay.
So this should be interesting.
Stevie Nicks in it
I don't know.
again.
Murder House is one of my favorites. So
Paul Taylor is the new Pinhead.
would I know him for anything else?
Sin City. He was in Super
Hmm.
back in 2010. He wasn't in a lot.
Didn't he
of
play
movies.
guitar for Duran Duran?
That was Andy.
Oh,
Andy Taylor. Andy Taylor.
I think he played keyboards.
Paul Taylor played keyboards, right? And what's the new Halloween? Do you hear any news about that lately too? My daughter was telling me that what's her name's coming back for her role.
Jamie Lee Curtis?
Jamie Lee Curtis coming back to play.
I
her.
did see like some artwork for it where it was
Yeah.
like Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael's mask, like sort of.
Yeah, she plays the mom or something of a family now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like H2O, but like she's way older.
well, shit. H2O was out in what 2000, I think, right?
Yeah.
That was bad.
It wasn't good. It wasn't a very good one at all.
No.
Yeah, so that's something to look forward to, and I don't know when that comes
Did
out.
either of you guys see A Cure for Wellness?
Yes.
Yes.
Was it good?
It's,
I have it queued up to watch and wait for it to be free.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find like I really like original concepts, you know, like
It's definitely original.
We've gotten so many remakes and like
Yeah.
Yeah, so it says Halloween comes out 2018. Laurie Strode comes to her final confrontation with Michael Myers.
is it really the final one? I mean, we've been
Probably.
told that before.
Probably not.
They
gi-
should,
given
though.
the,
They should put it to rest.
Yeah, given the situation.
Oh wait, the other one, Murder House, no, the one with all with Sid Haig and Kane Hodder and we just talked. Did we talk about it last time? It's like all the guys from like different slasher flicks. But is it Murder House or Death House or?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I think I sent you guys the
Yeah,
the new. They just came out with a new trailer.
Oh yeah,
It actually looks pretty good.
Death House.
Death House, yeah. That comes out soon, I think.
Right. That is the Expendables of
Yeah,
of
exactly. Yeah.
horror films
Right.
or something like that. Yeah, Bill Mosley's in it. He's the guy.
Okay.
He's the guy that plays Chop Top.
yeah, Chop
and
Top.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a picture. Actually, I have an autographed picture of him in the basement. I don't hang it up because it has a. Do you know the scene in The Devil's Rejects where like they're in the hotel room and he's like dirty and covered with crap and there's like a dead chicken naked in the bed with him.
Yeah.
Well, I have a picture of that.
I
I have a picture of that.
And he signed it.
Yeah, he signed it and he wrote to Sal, breakfast in bed.
Nice.
That was
Oh, that's
perfect.
awesome.
That's perfect. I gotta hang it up, but like because of the nude chick when my kids were younger, I didn't want to hang it up. But
Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
thought that was the best. That's when I first met him and said like, I thought he was awesome. I thought he was great as Chop Top, and now that he's in all this other crap, like Rob puts him in almost every movie.
Yeah,
he
right?
makes.
He does.
I'm like, he's a great actor. He's a
Yep.
fantastic actor. But he's most popular for his role as Chop Top, and like even has a website, choptopsomething.com, or because that was like his most famous role. And he always repeats all the lines, you know, the
Does he?
dog will hunt.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anything else we want to talk about?
The hanger? Did he burn his?
What?
Did he used to burn his scalp?
Yes. Yeah. His scalp was like, his hair was like all gone. His like scalp was like cut open. Yeah.
He used to eat it.
Yeah. It was pretty sick. Did you see
Uh-huh.
that one? Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2?
I don't think so.
It was pretty messed up.
Yeah.
It was a little more
It
comical,
was good,
but
yeah,
it was good.
Yep.
I don't mind that. I don't mind when they, there's that fine line between, I like the
That's the one when they showed more Grandpa on the chair. And
Yeah.
he was like, that was sort of funny. Just watching him like at the dinner table, and it's like, was he dead or was he alive?
Yeah.
He just didn't know,
It was like the whole family then.
Yep.
And I think that's probably where Rob Zombie gets a lot of his
Yes,
ideas and motivation
sure.
from that Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2.
Yep.
The fact that he has all those crazy people in every one of his movies.
Yeah, it does. Those, House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yep.
It sort of reminds you of
Yep.
the Texas Chainsaw for sure.
And
No.
was it House of a Thousand Corpses where they had pussy liquor?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right. That's another freaking great scene. And he has that, I think he even has that he has some sound clips from that movie in the song, right?
Yep.
Where the guy's like, you like to get fucked up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to get fucked up.
That was Dwight from The Office.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
watched that again like a couple like a year ago, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't realize. The first time I watched this, I didn't even.
Yeah, because it was long ago.
He wasn't Dwight then.
Right,
Just
right.
put Sherry Moon in some cut off jeans and I'll watch it.
She's looking a little beat now.
Yeah, I
you can't
know.
keep putting her
And-
in movies.
and her acting's not the best.
No, no.
Like I like.
It's part of what made 31 suck ass because her acting
Yeah.
was so horrible.
Yeah.
She wasn't the greatest.
And I want to like Rob Zombie's movies. I was disappointed. And yeah, she was part of the
Agreed.
reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just think about her role at the end. Like, there was lacking depth in her character. It was really bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that old lady. The old lady was a better character than she was.
yeah, yeah. Or the midget Hitler.
Who spoke Spanish?
Yeah. Forgot about that.
He was midget Hitler who spoke Spanish,
I just
and he was dressed like in like some sort of like gay bondage outfit. Like, he took like 5 different bizarre things and
just
shoved them
smashed
onto
them
this
into one.
Smashed them
It's like
indeed.
the scariest idea he could come up with was, a midget dressed in BDSM leather who looks like Hitler and speaks Spanish.
Had a hairy
Like-
chest.
That is, for some people, that is terrifying. I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure Trump would see that and be really freaked the hell out. That's one of the people that are crossing the borders to kill and rape people. And I think just some ideas to let you guys know what I'm thinking about as for the future as we go through the next couple months. So we have for April, I'm thinking because of it, April Fools, it's going to be the first week of April. I want to kind of think
Another
a little
good
bit
movie.
for the next episode about the light horrors, like comedy related horrors, things that are more of a campy kind of intentionally funny type horror movies. And I think we'll also include with that horror movie parodies. So
Okay.
we have some of those that make fun of Scream and all those that are lump them in there, pick your top 5 and we'll discuss those.
Like Scary Movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
like Scary Movie, yeah.
I've liked all those.
Yeah, they're all great. They're all great. And there's some you can look back in the 70s and 80s, and there were still some pretty good ones back then. too.
Transylvania 5000.
Fantastic movie. Fantastic movie.
That's what
Fantastic.
I'd like to get on like DVD. Like
That is like because
Abbott and Costello movies.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
Abbott and Costello,
But Trans-
Frankenstein.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Transylvania 65000 has what's his name from Seinfeld? The
Michael Richards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Michael Richards. He was hilarious.
He
in
was
that freaking
great.
movie.
And Gina Davis,
Davis.
and I can't remember what her name is. She was in Taxi. She played Lotka's wife in Taxi.
Oh.
You know, the little
Yeah,
blonde
she's
chick,
blonde with big
squeaky
buggy eyes,
voice. Yeah, buggy eyes. Like she was great in that.
Like a female Marty Feldman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think. There was another
there's
one
you.
from the early 80s.
Young
that-
Frankenstein.
Young Frankenstein is great.
Great movie.
Keep him, right?
There was another one that had who's the actor that played Dorf? Dorf does golf.
Tim Conway.
Tim Conway. There was a movie that Tim Conway was in. It was him and another guy. They were spies, but it was like a horror mystery thing, and they had these monsters that they were chasing. I can't remember. It's like a 1980s thing.
Huh.
I got to look that one up because that might be
probably
on my
Harvey
list.
Korman. He did like everything with
Yeah,
Harvey Korman.
yeah. So they
probably,
did. They were both in the Carol Burnett show together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was them. All right. I got to look that one up because that one might be in my
Mel
top
Brooks
5.
used Harvey Korman in like all his movies too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my thought for next time, and we should get together, pick a day and pick someone's house, and we'll get together and watch a horror
I
movie.
think it's my turn. Is it my turn? I don't know. Yeah, my turn.
Is it?
I think so.
Or is it mine?
Where did we watch Zombies? That was at your house.
Yeah.
So it's my turn, I think.
Yeah. I
It doesn't
think
matter. We
Yeah,
can
it
do
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I
We'll
have
pick a
the- I
place.
have
And,
The kegerator.
I'm good with that. All right. Cool. I think we'll call it a show.
Sure.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Thanks.
A little short tonight?